Welcome to Lab 3, Determination of the Density of Solids for Honors Chemistry. In this lab, we are going to make some simple measurements, that will be used to determine the density of two different samples. Of course, those measurements you may recognize as mass and volume, and then we're going to use the densities that we calculate to determine the identity of what substances we have. Now we're going to keep this simple. We're only going to have two metals, metal A and metal B, and they're going to be cylinders. Okay, so you are going to collect two samples of metal cylinders, and you're going to measure, of course, their mass using an analytical balance like you used in the first lab. You're going to be using their volume with a graduated cylinder by water displacement. And then you're also going to measure their volume by dimensions using calipers. Some of you may have used calipers before, some of you may not, in which case I will show you how to use the calipers once you're in lab. I have multiple sets of calipers, so you'll be able to use them and try them out. It's much easier for me to show you that, so we'll leave that to start off the lab. You're going to have your two samples. You're going to record their masses, as I said, in Table 1, making sure to record all digits that the analytic balance provides to you. The diameter and the length of the cylinder, right? So here is diameter from here to here. Nope, that's length. That's not diameter. Let's try length from here to here. Diameter would be the distance across the end of your cylinder. You're going to use your calipers to do that. I'll show you that in class. The dimensions. When it comes time to do the dimensions, I'm sorry, not the dimensions, the displacement. Here, volume by displacement. You're going to need to use a graduated cylinder. Now, of course, a graduated cylinder is made of glass, and you're going to put a certain amount of water in there. It doesn't matter how much water, because it's just going to be enough to cover your metal cylinder, which you will then place into the graduated cylinder, and then it will displace an amount of water equal to its own volume. When you do that, please be careful not to drop the metal cylinder into the glass graduated cylinder. If you think about it, you might have a sense of what can happen if you drop metal into a glass container. So you don't want to do that. Once you have seen the displacement of the water, record that in your table, and you'll be able to calculate the densities. Once you have the densities, please record your data, contribute it to the class data for the different metal samples that we'll be collecting in class. I just want the displacement ones. This is for metal A and for metal B. We'll form two columns. We'll collect the data as a group, and then we will do group statistics on those data. So that's about it for the lab. And when you get into lab, I'll show you how to use the calipers. See you in Lab 3.